What's our second main topic today?
Next up is from Clark Blatty. I saw on Twitter that they're now saying that the new Batman movie isn't going to be an origin story, but more like Batman early in his career. That's cool and all, but I still can't find anything that says when the movie takes place. Is it modern day? Is it set in the 90s or the 2000s? Without a date, we can't really tell if this is rebooted Batman or the same one in a different era. Have you guys heard anything more on this?
First of all, what he's talking about is that these new reports have come out that basically people in the studio are saying this isn't an origin story, which is key.
Thank God.
And that's important. Now, just so we're all on the same page, this is the direct quote, okay? This actually came from Slash Film. Rumors abounded that we were getting yet another origin story, but that's apparently not the case. In The Batman, Bruce Wayne / Batman is around 30 years old, but the story is neither another rehashing of his origin nor the tale of a seasoned crime fighter ruling Gotham City. He is Bruce Wayne still trying to find his footing on his way to becoming the genius detective. That's a quote coming from our friends over at Slash Film, of course. Rob, we have seen, even in Batman versus Superman, we once again revisited the shooting of the Waynes in the dark alley and dying. We watched it again. Did we really need to see it again in this thing? And with Robert Pattinson not being a 25-year-old, he's a 33-year-old actor. I think it was kind of safe to assume that this wasn't going to be another origin story, right? Or do you think maybe they should? Look, should they say this is a new Batman? We need to reestablish his motivations, reestablish his origin. We do need to show the origin again. Or do you think not doing the origin again was the right move?
I think not doing the origin is the right move. I could ask my grandmother if she was still alive, hey, how did Batman come to be? She'd be like, wow, young Bruce Wayne saw his parents killed. I mean, we don't need to see the Batman's origin again. It's wasting screen time. What we need to do is establish Batman in his milieu, show how the new Batman will be established in the first 5 minutes of the movie, depending on how he reacts, what kind of equipment he has, how he says, I'm Batman, I guess. We don't need to see his origin yet again. We're smart. We understand. The world knows where Batman came from. Jump into the story. Show us Robert Pattinson kicking some ass. I can't wait to see it. Bring it on.
Hearing them talk about it's not his origin, but he's not yet a seasoned Batman. It's a little reminiscent of Year One, right? Like when you think of Batman Year One, it's a little bit reminiscent of that. I don't know that this is a Year One movie. We know they were trying to get a Batman Year One movie made years ago, but that never came to fruition. But it sounds like it's going to have a little bit more of those influences. I'm with you on this. I think we know the origin story. It kind of reminds me of Edward Norton's Hulk, where they realized they didn't need to retell Hulk's origin story. So what did they do? In the opening credits, using just quick flashy images, they said, you remember Bruce Wayne gamma experimentation, now he's the Hulk. Good, we've all know this? Great, now let's move on. And I think that worked incredibly well. Plus, we didn't need to tell Spider-Man's origin story again with the new Tom Holland Spider-Man. I don't think we need to do it again this early with a new Batman, so I'm all for it. And at some point, you might want to have Bruce having a heavy moment and reflecting back to something. You could work that in there, I suppose. But I'm with you on this, Rob. I think it's a good move to move forward, and we'll see where they go with this. What I don't want to see, though, I don't want to see an incompetent Batman.
No.
Like, I'm cool with him not being the seasoned, grizzled Batman, which I did love Ben Affleck's incarnation of that. It doesn't have to be that. Just make sure if he's already been Batman for a while, and because Pattinson's 33, make sure he's Batman. Make sure he's Batman. And if they do that, then I'm okay with it. Question is, guys, what do you think about that? Do you think if they're doing a new Batman, you got to start at the origin story again? Or do you like the idea of just bypassing the origin story because we already all know it? Let's move on and get into the story. Let me know what you guys think. Jump down in the comment section below.
But also, John, do you think it's modern day? Is it set in the 90s or 2000s?
That's a great thing because that's one of the questions they asked in the thing there. I've heard different rumors, right? Like we've seen rumors for a while, Rob, that this is going to be set in the 90s. But I've never seen anything that actually backs that up or confirms that. I've heard some other rumors saying this is a soft reboot of the Batman and it's taking place in the modern era. But I've seen nothing definitive that concretely backs that up either. I got two kind of different minds on this, Ashley, and I'm glad you brought this up. On the one hand, I really want them to do a soft reboot today. Just make it in this DCEU. Say, do what James Cameron's doing with the Terminators. Oh, Terminator 3, no, don't look behind the curtain. Never mind, look away. This is Batman. I mean, it's a little weird to do that, but I think we as the audience can get on board with it fairly quickly and move past it. Just like we did with Liev Schreiber being Sabretooth instead of Taylor Mane, who was in the original X-Men movie. I think we can move past it and we can be on board with it. My guess is that it's going to be a prequel. My guess is that it's going to be a prequel, but I want it to be modern day. I don't know, Rob, which do you think they're going to end up doing?
It's hard to say, but I'm of a different mindset about this. I think, Batman should take place in Batman time. Because if you set it in our world, you've now saddled the Batman universe with all kinds of real world things that happen in his universe. Whereas I don't think that's necessarily the best way to go. Because if you watch Michael Keaton's Batman, which came out this week, they re-released it on 4K, a brand new remaster of the film.
Nice.
It takes place in Anton Furst's designed Gotham City. This is not our world. It's the world of Batman and Gotham City, and it's different.
So you're suggesting that they do this outside of the DCEU? Is that what you're suggesting?
Well, they could, but you don't know. We know that Aquaman takes place after Justice League, but we don't necessarily know that it takes place in our world.
Well, they've always kind of proposed that the DCEU happens in our world, haven't they?
Sure. But our world, but slightly removed.
Sure.
The president of the United States isn't, say, Donald Trump. They always have a fictitious president. I mean, it's always weird when movies do that because it immediately dates them. I love the movie Contact. But when I watch it now, and I love Contact, when Bill Clinton shows up as the president, I'm like, oh, I wish it was more timeless so the president is played by an actor that we don't know. Like when Donald Moffat plays the president in Clear and Present Danger, the Jack Ryan movie. It's just a weird thing. It's a weird thing, a weird peccadillo that I have, perhaps. But like Wonder Woman 84, it's like, they better have Duran Duran in Wonder Woman 84. That's all I'm saying. And there's all these expectations. I want to see Patrick Nagel paintings, just like on the cover of Rio. That's kind of what I want, and I get too wrapped up in the fact that this is 1984. When I watch Stranger Things, they put in music. I'm like, that piece of music didn't come out now. It came out a year later, and you guys are wrong, and it pisses me off. The Millennium Falcon toy in Stranger Things, that's from the 1997 re-release. It's not the original Kenner Millennium Falcon that came out. I hate that. Anyway, I want it to take place in Batman time.
Got it. All right, guys. What do you guys think about that? Jump down in the comment section below and let us know what you think.